the China virus. It's breaking news. Do you know it came from China? I know. Oof. I could hear you outside the building screaming. Yeah, it came from China, from Wuhan. You know, the Wuhan China virus? It came from Wuhan, China. Apparently a leak, some type of thing. It escaped. It was released on purpose, but whatever. It came from that Wuhan lab. It didn't come from the wet market where Chinese eat bats. They eat bat guts and raw shit, and which is really funny. If you think about it, calling something that came from China the China virus, they consider that racist. Yet just assuming Chinese all eat raw bats that are diseased from the gutters of Peking. It's not Peking anymore. What is it?
Beijing?
Beijing. I don't know. That's not racist. The stereotypical shoving chopstick loads of bat guts into his mouth and spreading disease, that's fine. But don't you dare say that one of their labs might have released a virus that we should not call the China virus. So it's coming out of late that it was indeed, this is what happened. Now, if you said this, you were considered a racist back, I don't know, up until maybe a few months ago even. If you said this, you were kicked off of social media. All kinds of penalties and consequences. Trump had said this very early on. The media lambasted him about being racist. Why are you calling it the China virus? Well, and he goes, it came from China. China. Well, how do you know? We know it came from China. Oh, horrible Trump. You know, he's trying to keep people from coming from China over to here. Yeah. Yeah, it's called protecting your fucking country that you're the president of. Yeah. So I didn't know what to make of all this. It was all so confusing until the ladies of The View cleared it up for me. I just need some common sense that I could watch and go, yes, ladies of The View, that must be what it is, because you're always so on the money, on the ball, accurate assessments without any politics or emotion coming into play. Oh, the women of The View.
Trump unleashed this xenophobia. He stopped allowing Chinese people to come to the country. He then started calling it the...
Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
He called it something, and he kept on saying China, China, and doing this thing where I was even concerned as someone who had lost family members for Manny to even bring it up. And that is really sad.
The last guy before Biden said anything about this, he made it about Asian people. And I'm sure Jon Stewart didn't realize that that's what was happening, because I'm sure he didn't know what was going on all over the country with Asian folks getting smacked and hit and people saying stuff to them about bringing the disease here. I mean, this was what was happening. And if you know who had not started it with that, had he not made it about that, had he said, listen, this might have come out of a lab, it probably would have been listened to a lot differently.
I want you to understand what just went on there. Because Donald Trump was 100% accurate in his assessment of where COVID came from, China, a lab in Wuhan, China, and talked about it and put a travel ban in place and said, yeah, we don't want anyone from China coming over here because the COVID virus came from a lab in China, and we're trying to contain it and keep it out of our country. Their take on that was that first of all, it was racist against the Chinese people. Well, who else are you going to keep out of the country? How many planes from China come up and the gate door opens and what? Sheep come out? Fucking cattle? It's people coming over. So if you want to prevent people that have COVID from coming to this country, you prevent people from coming. It's not racist to do that. When you say accurately, 100%, and it's been proven, that this virus came from China, and he calls it the China virus, much like it was called the Spanish flu, even though there are speculation as to where it actually came from, Spanish flu. A lot of these diseases get their name from the area. Ebola got its name from the Ebola River, and plenty of these diseases. Middle Eastern respiratory, whatever it is, MRSA. They're all based. It's easier. It's easier for people to know where the disease came from in the name of the disease. I think it's more accurate. The name of the disease itself gives you more information. So their take is, if Donald Trump hadn't said that it came from China, which did, that we would have found out it did come from China earlier than we did. I swear that's what she just said. That Trump saying it was from China prevented people from accepting that it was from China. And that's Trump's fault. How? That's not the fault of people that just weren't going to listen to Trump regardless of what he said, based on their own personal fucking opinions. Trump was 100% correct in his assessment of this. He had a lot more information than you did, Whoopi. Yet, again, it's Donald Trump's fault that he said the China virus that came from a Chinese lab was the China virus that came from a Chinese lab. And him saying that prevented people from believing or reporting that it was from China. How is this still on the air? How is this show still a thing that is on the air? Do people watch this? I mean, we watch an occasional clip just to see how moronic they're becoming on a daily basis. Does anyone actually sit and go, oh, see Whoopi's take on that? Talk to their friends? I got a text. Ooh, Whoopi was spot on, wasn't she? She's wearing a racist shirt. She's got Rosa Parks and fucking whatever that was. Harriet Tubman. Yeah, Harriet, Rosa. Does she show the whole shirt, or is it just, does it say something at the end, some witty thing about, we wouldn't be a country if it wasn't for them? There it is. Thanks. Angela Davis? Is that Angela Davis or
descendant of the Mayflower, Angela Davis? Did you see that?
No.
She was on that Root show or whatever.
Yeah.
The big terrorist communist lady. And they were like, your grandfather is from the Mayflower, descended directly. And she's like, they're like, your family created this country or whatever. And she's like, no. And she just couldn't believe
Black
it.
Power.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's great. Asata?
First name Carne. I'll
Carne
leave.
asada. Delicious. If they cut the fat off, fuckers. Michelle. I look, Harriet, Rosa, Angela. Okay. I don't know who the
bottom one is me.
Till? No, not Emmett Till. No. These are all women, I'm sure. Ugh. Fuck you. Everything she does. God, fuck Whoopi Goldberg.